Donald Trump's worst nightmare just came true. A brutal poll collapse and rebellion from his own party. Could this be the beginning of the end? Two massive blows have just slammed into Donald Trump, and together they paint a seriously rough road ahead for the former president. First, there's a devastating new poll from the New York Times, and let me tell you, it's ugly. Trump is underwater on every single major issue. That's right, every one. He's down 12 points overall. -4 on immigration. Normally, his strongest card. -8 on managing the government. -12 on the economy. Another area he once bragged about. -11 on trade. -14 on foreign conflicts. And a jaw-dropping -21 on both Russia-Ukraine relations and the scandal involving the illegal deportation of Calago Garcia. It's not just that he's losing ground. There's literally no issue where Trump is winning over the majority of Americans. None. And it gets worse. Deep dive polling shows that only 6% of Americans think a president should be able to ignore Supreme Court rulings. Something Trump has flirted with. Only 10% support deporting American citizens to foreign prisons. Another shocking Trump move. No wonder Trump's approval rating among independents has absolutely collapsed. It's sitting at a pathetic 29%. You might say when you promise to lower costs and instead send prices skyrocketing /20% off people's retirement savings and pick fights with Greenland, Panama, and Canada, well, voters tend not to stick around. But wait, it doesn't end there. The second bombshell came today when Senator Chuck Grassley, a longtime Republican heavyweight from Iowa, publicly broke ranks. In a tweet, Grassley said he's seen enough of innocent Ukrainian women and children dying and begged Trump to put the toughest possible sanctions on Vladimir Putin. He even said Trump is letting America get played like a puppet in a Russian psyop. Now, think about this. Just a month ago, not a single Republican senator, especially not Grassley, would dare criticize Trump publicly. But with Trump's approval numbers in freefall, suddenly the knives are coming out. And this could be just the beginning. Once the dam starts to crack, it tends to break wide open. Let's be real. Grassley kept his criticism pretty mild, but he's right. The truth is, Putin isn't playing America. He's playing Trump, and Trump alone. No one else is sitting at that negotiating table. If Putin's winning, it's because he's figured out how to manipulate one man, Donald Trump. And yet, Trump still can't bring himself to call out Russia for its brutal aggression. He never talks about the fact that Russia is the one attacking Ukraine, invading their territory, killing innocent people, and has been for years. Instead, Trump acts like he wants to join some autocrats club, palling around with the likes of Putin and Xi Jinping, while giving the cold shoulder to America's democratic allies. It's chilling, honestly. Because when your president looks at dictators and says, "Those are my kind of guys," that tells you everything you need to know. And it's not just the Russia-Ukraine disaster. Remember all those promises? Trump said he'd lower costs on day one. He claimed he'd fix the border, fix immigration, and bring grocery prices down. But what actually happened? Costs surged. Inflation went through the roof. Consumer confidence collapsed. The stock market tanked, and we're likely already slipping into a recession. Meanwhile, Trump's living in a fantasy world, bragging about countries supposedly begging him for trade deals, while in reality, places like China are warning the world to steer clear of America under his leadership. Even his own officials are admitting behind closed doors that they completely misread how China would react to Trump's tariffs. Instead of folding, China's doubling down, forging new partnerships with Europe and surrounding countries, and leaving the US isolated. And yet Trump still keeps selling the same tired fairy tales, pretending he's some master negotiator. So, where does this leave things? Here's the bottom line. Trump's popularity is collapsing. Even his own party is starting to turn against him. His biggest promises have crashed and burned, and America's standing on the world stage is weaker than ever. Republicans like Chuck Grassley are just the first domino. If Trump's numbers keep nosediving, expect more senators and representatives to suddenly find their conscience, or more likely, protect their own political skins. The ship is sinking, and pretty soon we might see a lot of rats scrambling for the lifeboats